Welcome to another episode of TAAP. I'm Chad,
I'm Michael.
and we're going to talk about something we haven't talked about yet today.
What's that?
Well, gun storage. You,
Ah,
you, you need to be able to keep it safe.
that's true.
Depending on your situation, that may be a little bit of a relative term. Safe to
Yeah.
some is different than others. Now I know you've got some storage of your own that you like to keep everything in. Different
I
types
do.
of storage, ranging from the more smaller and compact all the way up to large file cabinet plus size.
Yep. I've got.
And you've also got some decorative. You've got some nice glass front cases for some of your older things that you like to display a little bit more.
Yeah, the glass ones are more for display, but I guess they still lock. But
Right.
I don't put anything. I put the old
Yeah,
black powder in there.
Yeah,
Actually, is what I
yeah,
carry.
the stuff that looks nice. Black
Right.
powder, a couple old lever actions.
Yep.
But for the majority of us, I guess I shouldn't speak for everyone, but for myself, and I know for you, biggest hassle I can imagine is someone breaks into my house, takes one of my firearms, and then I get to deal with the ATF.
Yeah. Those guys kind of get a little. They get all up in your grill.
They're a fucking pain in the ass, is what
Yeah.
they can be. Fortunately, I've never had to deal with it before, but I know some people who have, and the paperwork is stupid,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of it,
Yeah.
and
They almost treat you like you're lying about
yeah,
it too.
well, they treat you like you're the criminal,
Yeah.
and so I don't like dealing with that. Now, do I keep everything under lock and key? Excuse me, everything under lock and key? No, but I've got a lot of things that if you don't know they're there, you're not going to find them anyway.
Yeah. Hidey holes. You got your little hidey holes. Everybody has them.
Got my hidey holes. I've got some things that they're on an open cabinet, but they've got a wire running through them, and they're attached to the walls, so you're not gonna grab them and walk off with them.
Right.
But for the most of us, storage means a safe of some sort, I think.
Yeah, a lockbox, something. I guess you could have like a soft bag, as long as it's locked.
Yeah.
And locks, it's fine.
Well, and in Nebraska, in your vehicle, if you have to secure that firearm, for it to be considered secured, it has to be in something that can be sealed and
Yep.
locked and attached to the vehicle.
Right.
So realistically, in Nebraska, if you go get a soft say for your handgun, if you're going to pick up the kids from school and you have to go in there, here in Nebraska, it doesn't matter what type of permit you have, you cannot take that firearm into the school.
Right.
You can leave it in your vehicle. So if you're in that type of situation, you get one of those soft handgun cases that you can get at any gun store, Cabela's, Bass Pro Shop, any place that sells firearms, pretty much.
Yep.
And a padlock and a length of that secure wire, like what you can use to secure your laptop to someplace so it can't be stolen.
Yeah.
You can makeshift something to store your firearm in there.
Yeah. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yep. And if you're like me, you can redneck anything.
We do love rednecking things.
Oh, I do. It's one of my favorite things to do. I will find a way to redneck it. So, let's talk about safes. So, what are your favorite types of safes?
I like combo safes. I like combo or key.
Okay.
Key is probably my top favorite safe. Combos, the spinning knobbies are the best that I think. I'm not fond of like the battery operated ones because batteries die.
Yeah.
And it's corrosive too to a certain point.
Yeah, and I'm with you on a lot of that. I do have a small safe that I typically keep my EDC in.
Right.
When I get home, it goes in there. It's in a nice, convenient place. So if I do need to get to it during the day, I can certainly do that. But I did find one that I really like. And again, with batteries, I know people that have had a safe that runs on battery, which it's great because with those you can do fingerprint or digital combination.
Right.
But you're right, if that battery dies, you're kind of stuck.
That's true.
So that was my one concern because I know people that have had that happen to them where they have gotten the battery safe and that battery went dead, and next thing you know, their nice, pew pew is stuck in a safe that they can't open unless they've got, a grinder or know a really good locksmith.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you, if that does happen to you, and you go to get a hold of a locksmith and say, "Hey, can you get me into this safe?" They can't just open it for you. You have to have some documentation for them to actually go in there and crack that lock.
Yeah.
And that's just another hassle that I don't want to go through.
Right.
So what I did is I happened to find one and wasn't familiar with this brand, and really I don't need to be a brand snob when it comes to this. I just want something that is going to do what I need it to.
Right.
Hold at least one, maybe even two pew-pews with mags for them. And I wanted something that was fingerprint, because if it's the middle of the night and I need to get into it, I just want to slap my finger where it needs to go,
Right.
and I'm good. If it is something that has a punch combination, I found a lot of them with 4 numbers. You're not going to get a whole lot of options with 4 numbers. It
Right.
kind of defeats the purpose. So I wanted something that went up to at least 8, if not up to 10.
Okay.
I wanted to have a key just in case everything else fails. I've got a key to get into it, because I believe in redundancy. But the big thing I wanted is something where the charging for the battery was external. So if it completely died, I could still plug it into something, give it a charge, and get into it.
Right.
So I came across this little gem, I don't know, probably 6-7 months ago on Amazon.
Okay.
And if you want to pull this up for us.
All right. This is the safe.
Yep, so this is what I was talking about. It's heavy duty enough that you're not going to break into it if you break into my house.
It's a pretty good heavy safe. I think right here, this little, I'm going to see if I could tilt it over on the camera. This little knob right there, that is the cable.
Yep, that will come out so that you can put your cable in there.
Okay.
And that will allow you to mount it to your dresser, the wall, whatever you want to mount it to. If you pop it open with that little, here, I'll pop it open for you.
There we
It
go.
even tells you open when it opens. It comes with a cable there that you can use to...
Oh, yeah. Now, this has not been set for biometrics yet.
No, I have
so
not.
Anything will open it right now until he sets it. And
I
then
just
numbers.
haven't exactly figured out where I'm going to mount that. I've got a couple of places in mind, but this one really met my criteria. It's got your keypad there, goes up to 10.
Yep.
It's got 1 through 0.
Yep.
It has the biometrics. It has, if you show the front of that, this little piece here covers up your keyhole.
Oh, okay. So you believe keyhole. Oh, look at this. This is hard to see, but it's right there. That's where you
Yep.
charge it.
That is your charging port. So
Oh, wow. Look at that.
I don't ever have to worry about if my system dies on me or my battery dies on me, how I'm going to get back in there.
Looks like just a USB-C or regular USB.
That is a USB 2, I believe. It's
Okay.
it's the trapezoid one.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, you probably have a couple of those cables.
Oh, a
laying
couple
around.
hundred, because there was a time where that's all you had was that
Right.
one. And so yeah, and if you open that up again, the other thing I like about this is I think I can set 20 different fingerprints.
Oh, okay.
So when I set this up, one of the things I'm going to do is there's going to be a couple other people other than me, that their fingerprints will be set to that. So if I ever need to say, "Hey, Michael, can you run over to my house and grab what's in the safe?" You can go over there and boop and get in there and get it.
Oh, this is nice. It has a little light in here, too.
Yep, there's a little light in there, so if it's dark, you can see where everything is. And that, I have measured it. I can fit in 2 handguns. Full size, it gets a little bit tight, especially if you have them in holsters. But my EDC, which is currently right now my 40 caliber Glock, and then one of my 2 9mm, I can fit those in there with a couple of mags for each.
Okay.
So
In horses, this is 2 hands.
what's that?
In horses, it's
Yes,
2 hands.
2 hands. But yeah, that's my little at home. Like I said, my rifles I've got secured. They are in a different Man, it's not a safe that I have those in. They are more, right now, mounted to the wall kind of directly. I have a couple of racks, and the cable that's like what's in there that runs to the wherever you're going to mount it to, I just have that running through them. So again, you're not going to come in and walk off with anything as much as you think you might want to.
Yeah, this thing's actually pretty heavy.
Yeah.
So when you put two or three firearms in there, it's going to be really heavy.
Two firearms, each with a mag in them, and then a couple extra mags for each one.
Yeah.
It gets some weight to it, and the thing is, since it's going to be bolted to the wall or to something that's not moving,
Right.
someone grabs that and goes to take off with it. They're not getting far, and that cable isn't something that you can cut with just anything. It is a pretty heavy duty, not super heavy duty, but it's heavy duty enough that unless you are, I hope you're not setting the combination, because I haven't set that yet either.
I didn't hit OK, so I didn't do anything.
Let's hope not. If not, you just did 1, 2, 3, 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But
1, 2, 3, 4.
we know what happens when you start playing with things.
I know.
Panic.
It's still in process of getting fixed. Too.
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear back from them on that.
Okay.
But from what I've heard, they are very good about getting those replacement springs to people.
Good.
But anyway, what I was saying is with this, it met all of my needs. It's going to be heavy duty enough so that you're not going to pry into it. At most, someone breaks in. I don't think they're going to have anything more than a pair of pliers, and the wire cutter on pliers isn't going to cut through the cable on that.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'm looking, and it's actually seated pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And these are off a little bit, so
it's got 2 bolts in there that lock it.
Yeah.
They had one with 1 bolt. No, you can defeat 1 bolt if you got a big enough pry bar. That one's going to take more time.
Yeah. A lot more time.
Yes.
So
then, that is kind of the. Give me just a moment. My computer's not cooperating.
Well, it's nice because our new system here, our new setup, now we have our laptop hooked right up into our system here. So we can go right into that kind of stuff right now.
Yes, which is what I am preparing to do once my wonderful computer decides it wants to cooperate with me.
Yeah.
Technology sometimes.
Yeah. Like the camera that you're seeing right now has this wonderful remote, and I can control the camera angles and stuff like that.
Yeah, we're moving up in the world, getting a little high tech.
We are.
And speaking of which, hopefully we got something worked out so that we can get some range days in and show some of that to you. Some outside the range. I know that we've talked about. I want to take my Creedmoor out to at least 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
And really, I think where we're going, I may be able to take it to a mile and see if we can do that. That'll be fun.
So we've been working on it. We've been trying to. Omaha's one of these cities that they're not very. Omaha itself isn't very gun friendly.
To a point, it is. The city itself, not so much. I think a lot of the establishments are.
Right.
But the problem is, we're surrounded by farmland. You'd think we could easily find a place to go long distance shooting, but farmland is like gold around here, and farmers don't want to set aside a big chunk so that a couple of yahoos like us can come out and shoot a couple times.
True.
Well, it'd be more than a couple times, probably a couple times a month at least.
Right.
But this, like I had there, that's a nice small safe for your everyday carry. You can throw your wallet in there, car keys, those other things that you typically take with you whenever you leave the house. Let's talk about something a little bit bigger now.
Okay.
So if you'd pull up our monitor here.
All right, so we're going to go to...
No, Mike, if you would just pull up us on our monitor. There we go. So this first one is, I guess you could call it kind of a top level starter safe. Nothing really big, but as you can see here, it's got spots on the door, which I really like because that's just another place you can store mags, you can store handguns. I think this one, when I looked at it, said it'll take 14 rifles, which you're going to be packing them in there real close if you put 14 in.
Yeah, Looks like a pretty good size. You have
Yeah.
the door. Yeah.
But this to me is someone that has, maybe 10, maybe 12 rifles and handguns that they want to store somewhere.
Yeah.
Personally, I wouldn't go 14 rifles in this plus handguns.
Yeah.
I want to be able to reach into my safe and easily take out what I want to get if I need to get to it quick.
Okay.
I've seen some safes where you just jam it in and jam it in and jam it in, and
Right.
I need to get to the one way in the back corner, which means I have to take out 5 or 6 other rifles to even get to it. So, but this to me, especially if you've got children, and we've both got children.
Right.
Fortunately, both of our children are at the age where you can tell them, this is a gun, don't touch it.
Right.
And they won't. Mine are very responsible. That being said, anything that I have that has ammo near it, I do like to keep locked up still because, one, never know when someone's going to break in.
Right.
And two, I don't want to take the chance of if they have a friend over and for some reason their friend decides to go play hide and seek in my room and finds, oh, look, my Glock 40 is just sitting there on the
Right.
nightstand. What's this? Boom.
Now-
At best, I've got a hole in the wall. At worst, I've got a body on the floor.
Right. Now this one we're looking at, this is actually this would be what I would consider as a gun safe, not just a gun cabinet.
Right.
Gun cabinets are a lot thinner. Don't get me wrong, I love gun cabinets as well. They do secure it. So, but this is a little more this is a little hefty duty.
Yeah. This is going to have a stronger, probably cold rolled steel.
Right.
That's a lot thicker. Gun cabinet, think of the old school file cabinets.
Yeah.
Where you had the 4 or 5 drawers and it was that kind of flimsy metal. It'll secure it, but if you've got a hammer and chisel or a good crowbar, it's not going to take much to get into that.
Yeah.
Something like this would take a lot more than that.
Yeah. This one, you're going to give up unless you have tools and you're breaking into a safe. This one you're not going to do. A gun. Don't get me wrong, those gun cabinets, if you don't know what you're doing, they're going to frustrate you and you're not going to get in it either.
It'll stop someone that breaks in with a screwdriver.
Correct.
If they break in with a full-size crowbar and they want to get into it, it's not going to do more than slow them down.
Right. Well, it'll slow them down. That's what the goal is.
This is something like this is probably going to stop them.
Right.
And really for us, gun cabinets work well again because we have children that are responsible and know not to play with firearms and that they're not toys. So,
Yeah.
but this one to me is kind of for that. You're just getting your collection started. You want a safe place to store all of it.
Yeah.
Maybe your ex is a little bit crazy. You don't want her to be able to get in and get to them.
Right.
And the nice thing about something like this that it has over a gun cabinet is these typically also have some sort of fire protection.
Which is nice.
Might not be a real long fire protection, but even if you have 30, 60 minutes, that might be enough to save everything that's inside it.
Yeah.
So let's go on to something a little bit more heavy duty and larger.
Okay.
Now this I like. This looks like something that if you had a spot, you could mount it into a wall.
Yeah, this one's a little bit. You can see the size difference of this door. This is 3 compartments in there is what it looks like.
And they're probably all adjustable, so if you had more long rifles, you can take some of those sectioners out or adjust them so they're taller or shorter so you can get more long rifles in there.
And that safe is... You're going to need some buddies to put that safe in, and once that's there, it's not coming out.
No. And if this was me, I'd find a place in my house where I can flush mount this so it's right up against the wall.
Yeah.
So at most, you've just got a steel door that's flush with the wall.
Right. That's a nice...
It is. It's a real nice
safe.
safe. And
now that's also a lot more money too.
yeah, something like this isn't cheap. Even an entry level something like this isn't cheap. You're talking, I would guess at very minimum probably $7,500, and that's not including getting it installed.
Yeah, and you got to understand that they all have the safes are all about the same when you're talking to these. Now you could get them with keyed, you could get them comboed, you could get them electronic, you could get them you could get all that stuff on the outdoor. You're going to pay for it.
Right.
You know, If you want all the lock possibilities, you're going to pay for every every piece of that lock.
Mm-hmm.
Now it looks like this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 points.
Mm-hmm. And those look like hefty duty cylinders there that are coming out.
Yeah,
If you look along the door, you can see those cylinders that are coming out. That's the locking mechanisms, and
yeah.
I will tell you, you're not getting into this one without heavy duty equipment.
I want to blow this one up a little bit. Let's make this full screen. There we go. There's full screen.
Mm-hmm.
That's you can probably see those pins quite a bit better on this picture.
In fact, I may be able to even blow it up here some.
Oh yeah, let's see how big we can get this. Like I said, we're new with
not-
this. A lot of this stuff is actually new for us, so we are actually playing with a lot of this stuff
Yeah.
now. So we're going to see what we can do as far as blowing it up, making it bigger.
Oh, that's not what I want. Well, no, it doesn't look like it's going to let me blow it up in this mode.
No, that's okay.
But
So
yeah,
that's a
there's
bigger picture there
yeah.
anyway.
But yeah, there's several heavy pins in there. I also like that you've got, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 handguns that you can put in there easy. It looks like there might be another one there. Plenty of storage in here for mags. Ammo box down there. Looks like there's some boxes of ammo in there.
Yeah.
Plenty of storage room in this.
Yeah.
And the other thing that's nice about this, if you got some valuables, let's just say the wife has some fancy jewelry and you don't want to have to run back and forth to the bank to put it in your safe deposit box.
Right.
I'd feel completely fine throwing it in here.
Yeah, all right. We'll throw it back on picture in picture here. There we go. All right.
So, this one's nice. And now the next one I'm going to show you that I found when I was looking for them. This might be my
Dream safe?
This might be my dream
Dream
safe.
safe. Love
Other than building a bunker that you have to walk downstairs into, and that's all it is.
And you have 5 of these already in there.
No, that'd just be one big bunker with like a bank vault door on it.
Oh yeah.
I found this one, which this is. I still don't think we could fit the collections in here, but it'd hold a good portion of it.
Okay, we're gonna turn off the picture in picture and blow this one up too. Oh, I can see this one. Oh cow! Look at that. I like the doors have where you could stack the rifles. That's that's the old school style right there.
And what's nice about that is those are easy to grab right off that door then.
Yeah, some of those are sideways. This is a dual door. Man, this is.
I'm
the
thinking this
creme de
has
la
to be.
creme.
I'm thinking this has to be at least 8 feet wide, just in looking at the dimensions.
I would say those doors are probably 3 foot.
They at least 3, if not 3.5.
Yeah.
And that's just where you can mount them. Plus, you got some overlap there.
Well, it looks
And
like he
your
has some
interior.
ARs there. So there's a couple ARs sideways on there. So those are Those are over 2 foot
Well,
generally.
Your
The
barrel.
smallest one is 16.
Yeah.
So
And I can't tell what that is in the upper left corner there. It's
That
not a
looks like
good
a
angle on
bullpup.
it. Yeah, might be something that's bullpup, but even if these doors are, let's just say, 2.5 to 3 feet wide, that's giving you a 5 foot wide on the doors, and I'm betting you're getting another at least foot interior in width.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's I can see why that's your dream safe.
Yeah.
I don't. Here's the problem with these dream safes. I'm telling you. We'll throw it back on us here. Throw it back up on the picture in picture here. There we go. And here's a good thing about. Here's the problem with the dream safes though. If you're going to get something like this, you almost have to buy the safe and build the house around it.
Right, exactly. Because right now, and you know my house,
Of all problems to have.
I can think of maybe one place that I could stick this, and it wouldn't be exactly convenient to put it there.
I do know your house. I could think of 2 or 3 places it can go, but you're right, it's not very convenient.
Here's the problem. It's not going to be able to go anywhere but the basement because I think I'd have to put too much support into the flooring
Correct.
for it to go on the main level.
Yeah.
So that's going to go in the basement.
Or this is your closet. We can knock out a wall, put it in there, and then rebuild the walls.
Yeah. But really, it's something like this, I could take out my closet completely and put it there.
Yeah.
I could put it.
Who needs clothes when you have this stuff?
I put my clothes in there too. Keep them safe. Who, the only other place I can think of would be without doing major construction and walling off areas, because I could wall off a section
Right.
and create a spot for it. But the only other place downstairs were the couches, that wall behind it.
Oh, yeah.
Storage areas behind that, so I could take out a chunk of that storage area and just sink it in there. But other than that, this thing is so damn big that you're right. You'd almost have to buy it and then build your house or at least your room around it. Which I would love to have that problem.
Of all problems to have, that's the one I want. Mm-hmm. Okay. I like that one. Yeah, I could see why that's a big boy.
Yep. Yeah, that in fact, it almost looks like they have a safe within the safe. Right there in the middle. If you look, go ahead and blow this up full screen again. Right there in the middle, right above the middle stack of ARs, it almost looks like they got a safe inside the safe on the... Looks like it's the next level up. Looks like there's a section that's just holding the barrels of the ARs.
And that very well could be bigger than the box that we just
right.
showed.
and that, again, that's not a small one.
Right. That's a pretty good safe.
So let's go back to us in picture, and there's one more that I'm going to show you.
Okay.
And this is something that I've had my eyes on for a while now.
Okay.
Just because I like to have stuff in my vehicle, but I'd like for stuff in my vehicle to be secure, and I don't care where you live, people will break into your vehicle.
Right.
Whether you live in the ghetto or you live in the best area of town, eventually someone will decide to put a rock through that window and go rummaging.
Right.
So, there is this other one, and this has a dial safe, a 4-number dial safe. You can get these with biometrics. The company I looked at, which I think this is the company, I'd have to double check. I was just looking for a picture of it. But you can get either a 3-digit combo, a 4-digit combo, or a biometric.
Okay.
This looks like it's the 4-digit combo, but this goes into your center console, bolts in, and then this right here opens up, and you've got a nice little hidey hole to put your sidearm, your everyday carry.
Yeah.
If you've got important papers that you want to keep safe and don't want to haul around with you, any valuables, anything like that. It takes up a good portion of your center console.
Right.
But at the same time, the research I've done on these, because they do bolt to multiple places, from what I've read, you're not getting it out.
Right. Now, it looks like this is either going to be in a truck, an Explorer, or a... What's the bigger Ford?
Well, this one, I think, is from an older version of the Explorer.
Okay.
But they actually make these... The company that makes these, they started off with the Explorer just because that was kind of the most common SUV out there.
Right.
So why not make it for that? And it took off.
Yeah.
So they started making these for all different models of vehicles.
Right.
I've seen where you can get them in, your sedans. They have center consoles.
Oh, okay.
Of course, that center console is going to be smaller. It's going to be a narrower shot, but you can get them for things like that. You can get them for, your smaller SUVs.
Right.
Pretty much anything. I looked through, and it's pretty much all make and model. I saw the company I was looking at. They make it for Porsche too. So.
Oh wow.
It's
okay.
They go down to everything.
I just saw the logo on this one, so I know what kind of vehicle this was in.
But yeah, it's something like this. If you carry, and when you carry, you go into places that you can't take your firearm with you.
Right.
Or if you've like what's happened to us, you carry and you don't go home to drop it off, and you're going out to the bar and you plan on drinking.
Yep.
So we talked about this in a previous episode. You don't want to keep carrying while you're drinking.
Right.
So you want to secure it. Yep. Great option right there is drop it in that and lock it up.
And be done, yeah. Mm-hmm. That would be, yeah.
Because
now I've also seen where they have where you can take off the headrests and they have hidden safes in those headrests. But
I haven't seen safes. I've just seen hidden pockets.
I've seen there's actually a safe where you actually you put a key in there and you open it up, and it's a little safe for a firearm there. So
and the other thing I've seen is people taking safes like this one that we were showing that I have, and mounting those inside their vehicle underneath the seat.
Yeah. Well, this one pops on the top. There's other
Right.
ones that have like the drawer
A
that
slide
slides
drawer,
out,
yep. Mm-hmm.
almost like a register. You see at Walmart or something.
Right.
That change drawer that pops out. Yeah. Oh yeah. All kinds of fun stuff.
You got any parting thoughts on safes or storage or anything like that?
Yeah. Always invest in a storage. So, and we'll take off the picture-in-picture here. There we go. All right. So I don't know. Safes are always a good idea. You should always have 1 or 5.
Or 10 or 12
However
or
many.
one really, really big one that you can fit everything in.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of always having one. I mean, you know what? If I'm home alone, kids off to college or they're on vacation and I'm home alone, yeah, I might lay it on my nightstand. It's just me.
Right.
There's no one to get into it. But there's a time I'm going to leave the house, and if I don't want to take that one, I might want to lock it up.
Right, right. And I'm the same way. If I get home and I'm the only one home because my kids aren't with me at that time, I may not go in and throw it into that little safe. I may sit down in the recliner and take it out there and put it on the recliner next to me until I get up and,
Right.
But I'm also home alone. And you know
Right.
what? If I forget it on the recliner, it's not like the dogs are going to get hold of it and do anything.
Right.
So, but yes, when the kids are there or when I'm not home, I am a firm believer in locking it up as securely as possible.
Yeah. I like locking things up. There's a couple reasons to this too. A, if you get in the habit of locking up in a safe, you know where it is. It's in the
Right.
safe. You don't. It drives me crazy when I hear people. Oh yeah, when I get home, I throw my keys wherever they just happen to land. Don't do that. I don't like that. I don't want to go hunting for my keys. And the last thing I want to do is when someone's breaking my house, I want to go hunting for a gun.
Here is something that I can promise you will never hear either of us say. God damn it, honey, where'd I put the 45?
Right. Well, depends on if I was cleaning it or
Well, yeah.
what I was doing with it. Yeah.
But even then, you and I both typically clean in 1 or 2 areas of our house, and
Yeah.
it stays there until it's reassembled and then it gets put away.
Yeah. It's generally when we get home from the shooting range that one of those boxes gets moved to the basement or something. And they're generally in a locked container anyway. So that locked container gets put in with several other locked containers and you forget which one's what.
Because they all look the same.
Right. One safe looks like another safe.
Because, when you've bought 20, 30 different Glocks and you have 20, 30 different Glock cases, they all look the same.
Yeah. That is true. That is true. And then you're like, nope. Oh, I got it.
It's like a happy little game.
Right.
Almost.
That's why I like to have like either a gun cabinet or a gun safe, because when you put them in there, you're not looking in these little boxes trying to find one little gun. You have, I've got all my Glocks on this side. I got this.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm a big firm believer of definitely having a lockbox, something to contain it, lock it up. You have a friend coming over, they're a little, that will happen. So,
Or, you're let's just say it's February next year, you're having a Super Bowl party.
yeah.
You got a bunch of people over drinking. You don't want to leave firearms laying around.
Well, and that's true. I mean, because we're talking about doing a 4th of July thing. I mean, so if we're going to do a 4th of July thing, yeah, that's going to end up, I might have people in the house.
Are we getting the flamethrowers?
Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, ho, ho.
Stay tuned for next year.
Flamethrowers. Think they're going to go.
Oh, they're gonna.
All right.
It'll be a party they'll remember.
Yeah.
We'll notify the fire department beforehand.
They're legal.
Yeah.
Flamethrowers are legal in this state.
But yeah, if we notify the fire department beforehand, they can have someone on scene because then it's their problem.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I don't know.
Just in case.
I think that's a pretty good show.
I'm right with you on safes or some sort of securing, and like I said earlier, just because it's a gun safe doesn't mean you can't put other valuables in it.
Right.
I multi-purpose mine all the time.
Yeah, yeah. It happens. It's papers, wallet. You said it.
Oh yeah, birth certificates, passports,
Your
will.
daughter is playing on her phone and doing things she shouldn't
Yep.
be doing.
Hey, that happened not too long ago. Both of them went in the gun safe.
Yep. See?
And you know what the funny thing is they don't know that I haven't set the biometrics on it or our codes, so that's okay. I'll keep them in the dark. Girls, don't watch this one. I guess I better set it now.
By the time, yeah, you better set it now.
All
right, good show.
I think that's a great show.
I think it's a great show because there's no gun to clean.
Yes, exactly. I like those days.
I do too. I do.
But
you
everyone,
still have to do all the codes on this.
yes.
Though.
Yep. That's a job for tonight.
Yep.
But everyone, do us a good favor. Give us a like, some comments down in the bottom. You know what your go-to gun safe is.
Oh yeah.
If you don't think you need one, let us know why you don't think you need one, because I can think of reasons why people might not need one.
Yeah.
I don't think, at least for us, they outweigh the reason for needing one right now.
Right.
But give us a like, leave a comment. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and here on YouTube.
We're also on Rumble.
Yep, also on Rumble. But I think that's going to do it for us.
All right. Make sure you shoot straight and always be on target.
All right. Everyone have a great one. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Pretty good show.
Yeah.
I like that one. I like the safe. That was pretty cool. All right.
Yeah, you haven't really gotten a chance to see that safe too much.
I didn't. This is the first
You
time
saw
I
it,
got to
I
play
think you
with
saw
it.
it briefly when you came over one time, but
Yeah.
that was about it.
Why are you going to bring me a safe that has buttons? I'm going to push the buttons. I always push the buttons. That's what I'm
I know.
barely able to hold this remote without messing the camera. Did you see me mess the camera up? Of course I did.
I'm going to push the button.
I've got to push the button.
I have to find the instructions on how to set the code. Main thing I want to do is set the biometric.
Might be 1, 2, 3, 4 now.
Yeah, it might be.
That's the same thing I use on my luggage. All right, kill it.